Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar of our 2022 season. My name is Dan McDonald, Sales and Marketing Development Associate with Baxter Media, and I'm here with Steffie Lam, one of our student finalists from Ryerson University. Now, just before we get into things, I'd like to give an enthusiastic shout out to a program sponsors this year. We have Manulife, Propel, powered by Tourism HR Canada, ACTA, the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies, TIO, the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, and SCAL Canada. Thank you for helping to make BSAP a continued success. I'd also like to let everyone know that at the end of this webinar, you'll have the chance to submit a question or two to Steffie. To do so, type those into the Q&A section of the public chat box or just the chat box itself, which are both towards the right-hand side of your screen, and those questions will be answered in due time. And remember, this is a live session, so your patience is appreciated during any technical difficulties that might arise. And without further ado, I will now hand things over to Steffie Lam. Welcome, Steffie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for the introduction. It's my pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Steffie. I am a fourth year student currently studying at Ted Rogers Ryerson School of Business and Management in the Hospitality and Tourism Management program. It is an honor to be here and introducing one of my favorite and top list of destinations that I would want to be traveling in the coming years. So just to give you a little bit of agenda of what I'm going to be talking today, I'm just going to introduce a little bit more about the new norm of traveling and what it means for travel agents in terms of these new trends. Secondly, I'm going to give you some general information and why we chose Bali as an attractive destination for travel agents and also for travelers as well. Thirdly, we're going to talk about the unique Bali experience, including attraction and destinations for different sectors. And fourth, we're going to talk a little bit about a recommended itinerary that's highly customizable and also for a first-timer who is visiting Bali. And lastly, we're going to talk about what is in there for travel agents, including commissions, tour operators, and travel insurance. So just a little bit about the current traveling trends because of COVID. So people are a lot more cautious about how safe and clean certain places are, including hotels, resorts, airlines, which means that it is a travel agent's kind of expertise from a familiarization trip is a lot more useful than ever. And travelers are also looking for a longer stay, meaning more meaningful experience because they need a little bit longer escape from not being able to travel for so long. And thirdly, we're seeing a little bit more conscious travel. Travelers are more aware of their impact and their behaviors, and they're looking for companies that support their decision and their traveling behaviors that is constantly changing. And lastly, they're avoiding crowds, they're avoiding big cities destinations, and also expecting fewer crowds even in the most iconic landmarks because COVID has restricted all these traveling activities. So jumping into the magical Bali. Bali is a province of Indonesia located east of the islands, and it is known for the perfect tropical island getaway. With sandy beaches and palm trees, wonderful cultures, temples, and the famous rice terraces as well. It's home to thousands of ancient temples, beautiful waterfalls, mountains, rainforests, active volcanoes, beaches, and even active sports like surfing, which is a perfect destination for any type of travelers who are looking for adventures, family trips, luxuries, and even to honeymoon. So a little bit about the current situation of Bali. They're currently allowing travelers from 23 countries, including Canada, and that is actually constantly being updated. I believe as of today, they're changing that to 42 destinations with visa on arrival through direct flight, meaning that you cannot be taking other flights or taking other transportation from different parts of Indonesia. You have to be directly arriving to the airport at Bali. And before your arrival, you need to be fully vaccinated. You have to have a negative PCR test, also including a travel insurance, COVID-related expenses pre-purchased and for about 30 days, and also including a confirmed hotel booking for 3 nights. That will be for your quarantine stay at the certified hotels that the destination has chosen for you. Excuse me. And arrival at the airport, you would need a PCR test, and also at the end of your quarantine stay, you would need another PCR test. So it's going to be quite different from staying in your hotel room because you can be allowed to move around in the hotel. So the destination is promoting a little bit easier quarantine regulations, but also has great opportunities for travel agents to step in and do packages and also do that visa consultation where it saves that extra trouble for travelers. So for the climate, there is typically 2 seasons in that destination, including the raining seasons, which is more of the nasty rain, humid between November and March. And there's the dry season, which is between April to October, which is a little bit more during the high seasons between July and August as well. So the best time to travel is actually between May, June, and September's, where the prices are not as high as high seasons, but also like you kind of get the benefits of dry seasons and the nice weathers. So because there is no public transportation in Bali, a lot of travelers have to rely on car rentals and even like renting scooters. Again, this is very perfect for travel agents who are trying to sell in packages, which can kind of like cooperate with car rentals for offerings as well. And so in terms of different types of activities, as you can see in these maps, we have a lot of different ranging from sightseeing to adventurous active sports, and even like culture experiences, museums and arts, which we're going to dive in. But before we dive in, just going to talk a little bit about why Bali is an attractive destination for travel agents and also for travelers. So travel agents actually need a lot of competitive advantages when it comes to Bali, because you can either choose it as a destination niche or even a sector niche, which can go with luxury or even honeymoon or planning, so on. And it's great for that sort of building that sort of niche, and then also offering a lot of flexibility, revenue opportunities through customized itineraries, tour operators cooperating with airlines, and also car rentals, which is perfect in the sense where Bali does not have any public transportation. And for travelers, it is an island paradise, and a lot of travelers come for the second time because it's such a unique destination with so much to see and do that when they come for the second time, it's a complete different experience. And it is a destination for everyone. So including luxury, culture, sightseeing, nature, adventure, and even independent travelers, there is something for everyone to do, depending on what you want to focus, no matter it's resorts or villas, with religious sites, and even like immerse in traditional art museums, villages. There are something for everyone in this destination, and it is truly a paradise as I speak of this, and as I do my research as well. And let's dive into some of these attractions. So, firstly, as a culture destination, which is again a very core foundation and beauty of Bali, it comes from the religion Hinduism, which really lies deeply in the people, the natural temples that are have been existing for many years, as you can see on my left is the Tanala Temple, which is located in Canggu, which is on a rock of bed ocean, which is very, very popular for a sunset and sightseeing spot. But other than that, there are over 20,000 temples across the entire island, and that is home to these deities that they worshipped. And on the left, you can see the Lampunya temple, which is known as the Gate of Heaven. It also has 7 other areas that kind of you can see through the active volcano as well. And you can also see in the middle, it's the Elephant Cave, and also on the side is the Tirtha and Pool Temple, which is known for hot springs and holy springs, where the people believe that it's a very sacred place for people to bath there and can be purified. And the Danube Pranta, Braten, excuse me for my pronunciation, temple is also laid on the Lake Braten, which is known for very unique Balinese architectures, and also that calm and Instagrammable landscape that is what's attractive to many, many travelers. And if we dive into more of the notable attractions with traditional village and museums, you can see that we've got the Besaki Great Temple, which is the mother temple of, and then you also got a Kaikak fire dance, which is very famous during the sunsets at the Uluwatu temples, where a large group of men and males sit in a group and they chant and wave their bodies and dance to their traditional music. And you can also see that there's a lot of art offerings, and you can see the traditional village as well, which is remained from the historical building structures, which is all there for someone who is more interested in conscious travel or even an authentic experience to see. And then moving on to more of the nature sightseeing, Bali has a very unique, natural, beautiful landscape that usually travelers would not want to miss. So one of the most iconic ones is the Tagalalang Rice Terrace, which is known as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, as the Ubud rice field as well. So it is recommended to kind of go in the morning or after 5 p.m. during the harvest season to see the most green fields and also get the most experience out of it. Another must-see is the Sekumpo waterfall, which you can see on the left as well. It is known as one of the most iconic and beautiful waterfalls, which is quite a bit of a hike. It's about 45 minutes hike up to the mountains and from the village, and also a bunch of steep stairways. But the scenery itself offers several waterfalls coming together between these bamboo forested valley, which is very exciting and usually leaves travelers in an awe to its beauty. You can also see that there's a monkey forest, other gardens, botanical gardens, and there's also other waterfalls that are quite mentionable and popular for people to hike up or even just to seek, that are in the middle of the forest, like this one. On the bottom right, that's like hidden in a cave. And not to only mention that there's beautiful beach coastlines that people can see the natural landscape of the island itself, including the Dreamland Beach and the Bingang Beach, which is located more on the southeast in the Uluwatu. And then also not to mention that sunrise and sunset tours are very popular in Bali, especially with the Mount Batur Sunrise Trek. It is one of the must-dos, even for first-timers who go to Bali. and also the hidden village that are known as the village on the cloud. So these are amazing sightseeing, nature, beauty, landscape um, activities that people can do. And moving on to more of the people, more of the travelers who are looking for some actions and adventures. Surfing and scuba diving is known as the most popular water sports for tourists and also for experienced individuals who are looking for more challenging um, experience and also like the best surfing spots, including the Padang Padang and the Suluban Beach, which is very, very popular because of the five famous waves. It is also known for like a little bit of a 10-minute walk through the zigzag staircase, which leads to great spots of souvenir shops and also a great spot for sunsets. And shores near the Kuta as well also offers surf schools, day packages for new learners, and also like rentals and equipments for new surfers who are trying to get a hang into it or even try to learn sports. Bali also has great scuba diving sites that are famous for shipwrecks, corals, underwater temples, and marine lives, diving about 40 meters deep to even more adventurous down current, where they go to more of the treacherous side of the ocean. And since the area is very known for water sports, you can also find snorkeling, yachts, cruises, jet skis, and even whitewater rafting. One of the another really great known ones are canyon tubing in Ubud, alongside with all the waterfalls and valleys that you can see. So it's very great for adventurers and even people who are more adventurous and more into that active sports sector. And moving on to the luxurious sector, people who are looking for a luxury experience or even like planning their weddings or tours, Bali is a very great paradise, which is known to home to many international resorts concentrated in Nusa Dua and also in Seminyak and Kuta as well. They're known for international resorts. There's W Bali, um, and Four Seasons, Bulgari resorts, the Viceroy as well. They're very known for kind of that luxurious, exclusive, all-inclusive honeymoon vacation, all-inclusive getaway, luxury experience. And not alongside with just accommodations, Bali is also known for like a shopping, food paradise for those who want to enjoy that full experience, including shopping centers, beach clubs, pool clubs, nightclubs, yoga, even spas, fine dining, and cafes, which are more concentrated in Kuta and Seminyak as well. So to summarize, I did list a few different regions and destinations, but this is kind of the overview of what each destinations are known for and what they offer. So Ubud is obviously the cultural hub and also the ultimate destination for sightseeing. They have all the temples, rice terraces, cultural experience, all the waterfalls, but also great resorts for people to stay overnight. While they kind of do all of that culture experience. Uluwatu is more known for the beach coastlines, the best surf spots, but also the Uluwatu temple as well. The Seminyak Kuta regions are more known for luxury resorts, villas, and the perfect place for wild and young, where they're partying, shopping, and enjoying that luxury life. The Nusa Islands is more known for the Bali experience that has been offered since 30 years ago. They haven't changed at all, including the beaches, the landscapes, serving as a paradise island in itself. Kangoo is more of a mix of all that kind of different aspect in each destination and combining it at once. So you have a little bit of a cultural experience with temples. You can serve there. You can have luxury resorts there. You can have a little bit of a family friendly go out dinner restaurant. It's a great place for a cafe also as well. And Sanur and Jimbaran is more of a family friendly restaurant, quiet beaches, and just somewhere that you can relax in an island, a little bit of a relaxed luxury experience. So this is kind of the recommended itinerary recommended by the tourism destination, and also a little bit of my input as well. So firstly, of course, there is the mandatory 3-day quarantine that you have to do, which obviously is gonna be including a little bit of a warm-up package. And you could obviously search for travel agents or even search for your own packages for that as well. And going onwards would be traveling between Uluwatu, the Nusa Island, Ubud, Kuta, Seminyak, and also Canggu. So Uluwatu is more of, again, the beach coastline. So it's something that you can actually ease yourself into to kind of go through the temples, enjoy the sunsets, and start your trip a little bit nice and soft. And then going into the Nusa Islands, you can definitely look at the beaches, the landscape, and also try a little bit of an active kind of sports and going into scuba diving. And then going onwards, we'll kind of get into the more immersive experience in Ubud and Mount Batur, where you can do the sunrise treks. You can do look at the waterfalls, the terraces, all the sacred temples, and even the surrounding traditional villages. And it's going to be a really good experience for anyone who first time is going there to get to see that beauty and that awe that everyone is explaining to them, or even they see it on social media. And Kuta is more of a touristy, very heavy, crowdy destination, which might have changed over the time during COVID, but it's definitely something that depends on personal interests that you can opt out or opt in. Seminyak and Canggu is more of the relaxed, kind of like finalizing your trip into the last stages where you're just relaxing, shopping, dining, and getting that relaxed bohemian vibe when you're going into cafes and even visiting different stores and museums as well. So I've dumped a little bit more information on the destination, but I just wanted to cover a little bit more on what's in it for the travel agents. So let's talk a little bit about where the travel agents can come in and also can make some commission. So firstly, due to the nature of the quarantine arrangements and restrictions, travel agents can definitely leverage that 3-day night stay and negotiate a package or at the certified hotel, and even help with visa arrangements, because it is quite tricky for you to get all the forms in if you don't have that visa on arrival permission or requirement have it. And also, due to the nature of direct flights and the dependency on direct flights, it's very easy for travel agents to come in and negotiate or even add that to the offering as well, including car rentals. So that is a must for most travelers who go to Bali, because there is no transportation, is heavily dependent on whether you have a driver or not, especially for the cultural sector, because destinations in Ubud is especially hard to get to, and it's just really a convenience for you to leave your luggage or whatever that is with the driver while you go and do sightseeing. And accommodations as well, obviously, for agents who are targeting luxury, culture, or even the wedding market, can definitely offer full customizations up to the accommodations and the itinerary, and even adding a little bit of a day trip, including like 2 tour packages that's offered locally. for people who are looking for sightseeing or even a day trip at the temples. And not to mention that specifically for the fit market, travel agents can definitely consider offering themselves as a consultant or even customizing their trip and planning themselves offer themselves as a help to plan the trip or prepare for details with certain changes when problem that comes up with the trip, especially when travel regulations are really fluid these days. And especially with the mandatory travel insurance requirements, it is very beneficial for the travel agents to come in and say, I can handle that travel insurance for you as well. And here's to just cover a little bit of the tour operators that offers tours to Bali. So directly from Canada are Intrepid, G Adventures, which are known companies that are doing fully planned or even tailored made tours that's available to travelers. Tour Radar also helps searches some of the local tours that are offering tours starting with airport pickup to like day trips such as Indogusto and even intro travels that are doing so. One Life is focusing more on conscious travel and catering more towards the people who are looking for authentic experience and that cultural experience. And Bali.com and Wonderful Indonesia are the local tourism organizations that is also a great resource for travel agents to understand visa requirements. Bali.com offers bookings and packaging tours with the first 3-night trips as well. And also they have tons of information on travel regulations and just the tourism news in Bali, exclusive packages, and even like car rental offerings. And other resources that are available for travel agents includes Travel Leisure or even Lonely Planet, which provides information and inspiration on the destination, and so on, for them to kind of leverage that to sell the destination to their clients. And lastly, I would just like to mention a little bit about travel insurance and why it's important during the pandemic. And in cases where you contract COVID and while you're traveling the destination, or even like there's any unexpected travel regulation changes, it is very important to not only have insurance that covers that monetary losses, but also having a travel agent that helps you sort out where you'll stay, how you'll extend your stay, how you'll extend your visit, planning your return after like situations have been settled. And also, while insurance covers all that unexpected circumstances, COVID-19 has definitely raised that standard for insurance. So, especially companies like Manulife have really catered to the needs of the travelers to provide that COVID-19 specific medical expenses that covers trip cancellations and interruptions in events of quarantine. So it's really great opportunity for travel agents to kind of cooperate with companies like Manulife to offer a little bit of a safer experience and provide that insurance to travelers that in cases if COVID happens or if any unexpected circumstances happens, they're available and there to kind of deal with that situation. And that is the end of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer that right now.
Thank you very much, Steffi. That was excellent. So I see a couple questions have been submitted here. So I'll read those out. So Ian Stalker from Baxter Media says, "Hi, Steffi. Do you think many people who haven't been to Bali simply assume it is beaches or just beaches and don't realize that it has a cultural side to it as well?"
I do believe that Bali is very much known for beaches, and beaches, and also resorts. But in a sense, I believe that it is when we are promoting a destination, it is very essential for us to cover that cultural side and even that um, traditional side of um, the the island itself, because it has so much more than it has to offer, um, than just beaches. I think like how we market the destination itself is very important. The destination marketing organization has greatly shifted their focus towards a more sustainable, kind of leaning away from mass tourism, and they've definitely focused a lot more on temples and even like marketing and promoting other destinations that are a little bit less crowdy but still very well deserved and worthy to visit. Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you. And Laura Bowman from Baxter Media says, "Good morning, Steffi. Thank you for this great presentation today. There's so much to do in Bali. You mentioned that it's on your bucket list to visit Bali. What site or experience is at the top of your list?"
So I myself is a very adventurous person, I would say, and which is why I really want to do one of the hikes and definitely the sightseeing. So one of my top is Mount Batur, which is the sunrise trek that you've seen, and also the hidden village, which is all kind of surrounded in Ubud. Um, but if I'm gonna have to summarize that, it's probably all the hikes to the waterfalls and also the sunrise trips. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And Ian says, "How do you think tourism authorities can get the message out there that there are all these interesting locales that many people might be unfamiliar with?"
Um, tourism. Sorry, get the message. Get the. Um, that's a great question. So I think in general, I think it's an effort from the destination itself. It's an effort from tour operators, and it's also an effort from travel agents themselves too. Because when you are following a person's page on social media, you're constantly seeing those images where it's just beaches, or even there are familiar kind of um, sites that people are looking for that only attracts them to the eye. It's really important for them to capture the that local and cultural side. One way that it's visually appearing, and another way that's actually targeting to the right market, who are more conscious and more um, interested in that authentic experience, in a sense where you're not blindly marketing it to people who aren't even interested in, going visiting temples and actually walking the people's footstep of Bali, but you're actually focusing on the target markets who are interested in um, that conscious and authentic experience. And in that way, like, even as a travel agent, you should have your own niche, and as a tour operator, and even as a destination, you should have that own niche that's dissecting segregating that target market so that you can more effectively get that message out, whether it's through social media, or even websites, or even just the destination website itself.
That's a good answer. Thanks. Thank you, Steffi.
Thank you.
And Carol Greenwood from Tayo is asking, "What do you think might be the biggest resistance to someone choosing Bali as a destination?"
I think prior to COVID, it would definitely be the crowd issue. Obviously, it has been known for very, very mass tourism. Um, the beaches are packed, and there's a lot of littering problems. People who are a little bit intimidated by also the beach parties as well has been probably gonna be one of the biggest resistance for people who are choosing Bali, especially if they're expecting a lot less crowd after COVID. So it is slowly and steadily opening up to different countries, but in a sense where there is still a lot of regulations and restrictions applied to how to travel there and how to get there. But that crowd factor is going to be the biggest resistant to um, whether it's going to be a safe place to travel with that many people just having fun together. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. So I do believe that's it for the submitted questions, but I would like to thank everyone that attended this webinar today. Thank you all so much for being here for this final webinar of the 22 season of BSAP. And yeah, I'd like to thank you all for supporting the Baxter Student Ambassador Program in its 8th year. It's been a good one, and we really appreciate you contributing your time. And Steffi, thank you so much for your fantastic presentation. It was great having you here virtually with us today.
Yeah, no worries. It was fun for me too. Thank you so much.
So we'll be in touch in the next couple of days. And yeah, look forward to connecting with you very soon.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.